Good day and welcome back to another DBZ Dokkan Battle video. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at, well, to cut a long story short, the performance of the Super Saiyan God, the Sgss Vegeta, and Super Saiyan Trunks Future, the LR that recently got their Extreme Z Awakening, and probably one of my favorite units of all time. Whoever does not know should know by now that Trunks is 100% one of my favorite units of all time. I love Trunks. I think he's awesome. I think he is one of the coolest characters in the show, and he's my favorite character. So this LR is right up my alley. In terms of performance, I think they do a great job. I think they're very different to some of the other LRs. You get kind of like your Strength Goku and Vegetas, who are kind of like your damage dealing utility units that switch between tanking or second slot damage dealing. You get the same with kind of Rose and Zamasu. Gogeta is kind of your insta burst damage first slot tank. And then you kind of have a Mega Shenron, who I think probably more closely aligns with Super Saiyan God, Vegeta and Trunks, but is a little bit different in kind of performance, because I think Extreme needs a unit like that. But they're closer to a Mega Shenron in terms of how they're designed than other units, because they bring with them a lot of support. So let's talk about them. Bond the Parent and Child, or Future Saga category lead of Key +3, HP attack defense 170%, additional 1 key HP attack and defense of 30% for characters who belong to Battle of Fate. Greatly raises attack and defense 1 turn, causes colossal damage to the enemy on the 12 key. Raises attack and defense permanently and causes mega colossal damage to the enemy. Raises ally attack and defense by 5% in battle on their 18 key. So 5% up for the rest of the rotation. It's not a lot in isolation. Like, it's nice, but it's not anything crazy. If you think about it, you get units that give you, 3 turns of 40% support. It will take these guys 10 turns to even get there. But what it is with them is the fact that it adds on to everything else they're doing. So if you obviously take into account that their own attack and defense will go up as well with it, it helps out with their only 20% stacking. Then if you look at everything else that they do, I think it's also very, very good. So let's take a look at their passive. Key +7, defense of 100% up for 5 turns. Damage reduction rate 10% up, and randomly change the key sphere of a certain type into exclude to rainbow. Basic effects: Key +2, attack and defense of 200%. Guards all attacks, damage reduction of 20%. Launches an additional attack that has a great chance of becoming a super. When attacking with 18 or more key, you launch an additional attack. When activating the active skill, or when attacking with 24 key, Bond or Parent and Child category allies get defense of 30%. This is huge. This is 30% support on top of the 5% support they're giving you from their super. Not saying that it's as good as maybe other units, but it's great because it's permanently stacking buff. That 30% boost is also great in the turn. Allows the rest of the team to really kind of come together nicely. For every attack they receive, they get 2 key up to 10. This is also super important because it allows them to easily get their 24 key, which activates that support. Attack of 20% up to 100, defense of 50 up to 150, and critical hit chance 10% up to 50%. So these guys will have 50% crit chance, which I think is really, really good. It's a really, really solid amount of boost. 50% crit chance, 2 built-in additionals almost. You can build these guys into full evasion if you want to, but really it's additionals that are going to make them shine, because it's going to maximize their damage and also raise their defense even further. But what really sets these guys up is their first attacker in the turn buffs, attack and defense of 200% and damage reduction of 30%. This means during the first 7 turns they actually have 60% damage reduction and guard, which is equivalent to Vegeta, right? To Giant Ape Vegeta, which is kind of like a benchmark for a good tank. But then also remember, they are stacking that defense. Now it's only a 20% stack, but it does matter. And they can build up very quickly. They've got on defense super, that first slot defense. So they really are quite good. Same way Ray, Super Saiyan, the Royal Lineage, Dismal Future, Prepared for Battle, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power, their link sets. And the big thing is the Gallic Gun. Massively raising attack, causing ultimate damage to the enemy, And then within the turn activated, all attacks become critical hits, which is amazing, and they raise allies' defense by 20%. So it's really, really, really good, to kind of like bring everything together. I think it's very, very, very impressive. So for me, honestly, I think it's really, really solid, and I think their whole kit together makes them a fantastic support for the categories they're on. Their only real shame is that they're a little bit limited, positionally and team-wise. They are limited in terms of categories. They don't have lots of teams. They are limited in terms of their active skills, which also doesn't really help a lot. So it's kind of like a double-up procedure, and I think it is something super important to take note of. But yeah, all in all, I think that's really, really solid from them. I think they are exceptional units, and I think they do a great job. Really, I think they are fantastic. When you couple them with the new Super Saiyan God SS Goku and Super Saiyan God SS Vegeta, the strength units, not only are they boosting them, allowing them to kind of exist, but I think I've used Vegeta way more now since their Easy Air than I ever did before, because Vegeta gives that 80% support to the Trunks and Vegeta, which is huge, and they in turn give him huge amounts of boosts, because they're giving him that 30% extra defense. They can give him that 20% extra defense from the active. They can give him a great platform as a first not tank. So it's really just something important. And then when you consider his active giving them another further boost as well, I think there's really a lot going on. So very, very, very important. Very good stuff. All in all, super happy with their performance, and for me, an exceptional unit. I think if you've got them and you're able to easy air them, you can fit them onto some of the top teams. I mean, strength, Goku Vegeta's is obviously the top one that they exist on right now, but for me it's 100% a super impressive team, and I for one think that they look exceptional. That's just me, that's just how I think they look. Obviously it depends on yourself, but yeah, for me they are excellent, and I've enjoyed using them ridiculously so. So yeah, that's it from me. See you guys in the next one. Till then, take care, stay safe, and as always, bye.